So, Steven, we're just going to get right into this because I was in the hallway before I ended up coming on here with you. And this guy I've seen who was on the ground is on the ground again. So I don't know if it's a game that he's playing or what the case is.
Wait. Back up. Start over. You were in the hallway.
Yes, I was
This
in
guy
the
on the
hallway.
ground. This guy on the
A guy on
ground.
the ground. And this is like the third time. I
He's
keep
homeless?
thinking like he's playing. No. He lives here, but
Okay.
he's an older guy. And I think he's not supposed to be in the hallway by himself.
Did you
But he
did you
always
see if
wants
he was
to.
okay?
Yes, he does this. This is like the third time. So we
Okay.
make the eye contact, and I'm like, "Yo, are you good?" He's like, "Yeah, I just lost my balance. Give me a minute." But he has
So
his
all right. So
rope.
first of all, I gotta say, like me and Christian, this is the first time I've heard about this. This is not something that we talked about right before we came on the air. Nothing we texted about. Nothing you called me about. Like no pictures were involved in this.
No,
This is the first time hearing about this. This is just the
I
guy on
know.
the ground.
So this is the third time it's happened. The first time I was in school
Do
after
they?
like a long day of school, like after work, I'm walking the hallway. I see him, but he was in the middle of the hallway. He's at the end of the hallway now, and he has a roller this time. First time it was at the end of the hallway. And think about for everyone out there that has like either elderly parents or like grandparents, and when they're trying to get up, but you have to pull them up a certain way, and they can't have control of their weight. Like I'm not a skinny dude. Like I can lift most people, and I'm like trying to pull him up, and like his body just slants. I'm like, all right. So then I go in my apartment, then I come back out, he's gone. I was like, huh, all right, this clearly someone's playing something. Then it happened again. And I walked, I was like, yo, you good? And he was like, yeah. I go in, come back out, throw away the trash. He's gone. I don't know what happens in like the little bit of time because he's not a fast person. Then today, all I saw was the feet. I said, shit, I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, I got okay. We don't have enough time
So
for all the questions that I have right
there's
now.
a lot of questions. But what we're gonna do is we have a lot to get into. We're gonna start with the quick sense for everyone out there. Then for the NFT and finance and crypto part, I'm going to be reviewing a company called Moonshine K9s. They end up sending me a sample bottle of their whiskey. Then after that, we're gonna dive into sports because a shit ton has happened between the NFL, the NBA, the light skinned dudes getting in their arguments and nothing happening. So tune into all that. But let's go with the quick slants.
Um, I'm still thinking about this guy on the ground right now. Like, should we go? Should we go check on him? Like, is he okay? Like,
No,
should we
he's
bring
gonna
him?
disappear.
Like,
I personally don't even think he's a real
should we bring him
person.
on the show? Like,
I don't know if he'll
friend
make it.
friend of the show. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep trucking along then. Quick slants will be out tomorrow night, 8:30, normal time. The boys have a um big game this weekend. We got the Ohio State University coming to
Yeah.
town Saturday noon, big noon kickoff on Fox. Ohio State right now is currently last time I checked, 15 and a half point favorite, which is
Mm.
a astronomical number for that game. I think the last 7 or 8 games have been decided by under 13 points. So Penn State always plays them tough. We always typically lose, which is disappointing, but I'm pumped. I'm going to be there. We got the W
Okay.
last weekend. Did you watch the game at all last weekend?
Yes, I did. I
Yeah,
watched a good amount of it.
you saw my boy Cliff. Penn State's quarterback Sean Clifford was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. He
Yep.
heard everybody talking shit about him.
Including
About
Steven and Drew
look, okay,
Allard.
it was borderline shit talking. I have my reasons, and if you listen to the quick slants, you'll know what my reasons are. I did give it props to Cliff for balling out. It had a big game. So yeah, big win for last weekend against Minnesota, 45-17. We got the biggest game of the year, with the game we circle every year. Ohio State, number 2 in the country, Saturday noon on Fox. The schedule for noon for college football is dog shit. So that's the only game that's going to be on. And God, I just hope we win. I just, I wouldn't give up one of my kids for it. But I would give up the Steelers winning another Super Bowl for Penn State to win a national title easily.
That might happen on its own.
Yeah, well, the way the season's going and the way
I know.
things are going, yeah, I think it might. But yeah, I would give up that. But yeah, I just want to win. Noon, Fox. Let's let's get it. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
But check out the quick slants tomorrow night, 8:30. Follow the quick slants at the quick slants on Twitter.
Regular time. So make sure to listen to that. The other thing on the other side is The Spaces, still doing that on Mondays. Stay tuned. We're starting to incorporate, because of what's happening in Solana and like the different cryptocurrency ecosystems. We are including some Aptos blockchain NFTs in that as well. So tune into some of the surprises we do have coming forward. And a friend of the show of the Spaces ended up giving me one of the samples. So we have Moonshine K9s. We're gonna review everything. Got the homie Young Glass here for you guys too.
Yeah, got the C on it. All right.
So we're gonna do the whole unboxing. I'll try to do this in reverse for everybody out there so you guys can see it. I don't know how much it'll work out though. So I also was able to practice this. So this is like the inside of it for everyone that can see that.
Nice.
That's the artwork that they did for the Moonshine K9s.
So is this moonshine or is it whiskey?
It's whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not going to tell everyone on air, but Steven will probably know. So they're based where you and Jay Hill had an event at. If you think about with the boats.
Shit. Yeah. Okay.
So they're pretty close.
Yeah. That's a good area to be based in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then when you open it, this is what it ends up looking like as well.
What's that? What's that? Is that plastic? What is that?
Like that? Yeah. So it's like something, it's a sticker on it.
No, the bottle itself.
Oh,
glass.
Yeah, it's glass.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a glass bottle. They didn't go the cheap route at all with any of this.
I appreciate that.
And also, just looking in here, this is kind of how it came. So shout out, they legit had it.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I did try it yesterday. I'm not going to tell you guys my thoughts on it. I'll just do it again for you all, and then we'll keep everything rolling with it. But for everyone that knows me knows I am a big whiskey person in general. So Jameson was something, and that's what I talked about with them. So I know.
Disgusting, dude. Disgusting. Absolutely foul. Absolutely foul, dude.
So for everyone out there, salud.
Chaim. It makes me want to throw up.
So my overall thoughts, one, for people that like whiskey, it's not that dry or bitterness of like you're gonna make faces. You won't make a lot of faces with it. It is strong, and you can absolutely tell it is a whiskey. It has that smidge of like a burn that, you know, of course, how liquor's gonna end up giving you, and then you do feel it afterwards. It's not bad tasting.
You feel it right here as it's going down.
You do feel it in your chest. I will say that is something you do feel.
See, for me, it stops there and comes back up. What proof is it? What are the numbers on it?
So on this one, it doesn't say. I know what a big thing that they were trying to do is they are giving it a taste test, so people don't think about necessarily like the alcohol proof and things of that nature. Plus, I'll look it up for everyone out there. But
what's it called?
Moonshine K9. You might be able to find it there. If not, like I normally just go through the Discord and stuff like that. For everyone out there that is listening to this, so on the front they have their label. It's Bark Whiskey. That's what they call it. The company's called Moonshine K9. Then the liquor itself is Bark Whiskey. So that's where the whiskey itself comes from. I had V-Rock on the show before on the Twitter Spaces, so that's another reason how I definitely like to always support them. But I told them I'm gonna be one of the first in line. Something else with this, and here's the kicker, because Steven might start to get a couple of gifts and stuff of that nature about this. If I get one of the NFTs when they do mint, so mint is going to be November 9th for everyone out there that is interested, but you will be able to potentially get one free bottle of liquor potentially each month if you hold one of their NFTs. So if you hold two, they dropped some alpha today. So shout out to Mad Max and Frosty and the gang. If you have two, you can potentially get two bottles. And if you don't drink liquor, they do have other alternatives, like they're going to have merchandise and there will be other benefits. So that is something that I was telling everyone. I was telling them on the show that, look, if I get a free bottle of whiskey just for holding your NFT, I'll absolutely do that. What? And then I can end up, one, bringing that other places. Two, I'll just start to stock up on whiskey for every type of event there ever is in life. And it's one of those, you could play a game with it, because sometimes comparing it to Jameson, it is easier on the taste buds than Jameson. Like Jameson will hit you and you're like, God damn. But this one, it's like, all right, you know what? The boys over at Moonshine kind of fucked it up there. So
nope.
I'm curious if they will go with other versions. You know how like a lot of liquors have their dark, light, white, black, orange, different kinds. So I want to see what they do with that. I also want to see if they do a storefront too, because I know that's where a lot of times you make more money, and then you'll do like your distillery tours and stuff of that nature. But that's what I wanted to do. I'll do a deeper dive and a deeper review probably tomorrow. Like 3 to 4 minutes, I'll put that on Twitter. But of course, I wanted to do this, put it on here first, because that's where you always get your content and information first. So shout out to Moonshine K9s and shout out to Bark Whiskey and the homies. V-Rock, you're a real one for that. Going into just one other thing I want to say in the finance and NFT world before, sorry, 2 things, because one is very important. 2 things. The first one, Chipotle raised their prices, as everyone knows, and it impacted their revenue in a positive way. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Like, that's clearly what happens when you raise your prices. The other thing, everyone has heard about this by now. Mr. Ye, aka Kanye West, and his deal with Adidas is terminated. He tried to pull up on Skechers. They said no.
Yeah, and the owner of Skechers is Jewish. Like, what are you doing, bro? What? Like, why? Do your research.
I know.
Jeez.
So Gap and them are done. Adidas said that they're still gonna sell his shoes, just take off easy. What begs the question of, you don't own the design to your shoe, which is something in itself there. I don't know how you guys worked out that contract, but it hurts both sides. That's the toughest part. It hurts Adidas because they're losing 250 million they projected from that, which is a shit ton of money. Then Ye is no longer a billionaire. He is only worth 400 million, which I'm saying only, but that's still a lot of money. The last thing I want to say is, so Mitchell and Ness, of course, Steven and I know Mitchell and Ness very well because we both clearly like to wear hats and things of that nature. But Mitchell and Ness, who has a lot of different investors. For a lot of people that know, Meek Mill was an investor in them. Meek Mill. They have other investors now, such as LeBron, KD, Kevin Hart, Odell Beckham Jr., CJ McCollum, Rich Paul, and Rich Kleiman. Rich Paul and Rich Kleiman are a package deal for everyone out there. Whatever KD does, Rich Kleiman's going to do. Whatever LeBron does, Rich Paul's going to do. So those are easy ones for them to always get in. And that is the plug. That's what everyone should aspire to end up doing in life. Having that homie of, all right, if they get this, I'm about to get it too. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, see? Exactly. It doesn't even matter.
Always gotta have that homie.
Exactly.
Shout out to the homies, though.
Shout out. Yeah, so that's kind of like the big thing over there. Mitchell and Ness is always going to be up. When you have all these people on board, you're going to be fine. There's no if, ands, or buts about that. The other thing that I want to let everyone know about, because it's going to start to be important as we segue into sports, but the midterm elections, I'm not talking anything elections, but I just want to let you guys know, because it is going to affect a lot of the financial markets and sectors. That's the big thing over there. We want to segue now into the sports aspect of things. And we talked about the quick slants to start the show. And now I got to give love to all the HBCUs and everyone out there, because College Game Day, you are legit about to fuck up the whole city, the state of Jackson, Mississippi. Because I don't think you guys are ready. I've been to Jackson probably once or twice. I promise you, they're not ready for it. There's nothing that can make you ready for it. I know a lot of times with these schools, it's a lot of the college students and like alumni in the area that go to College Game Day. I promise you, everybody in the South is going to find their way to Jackson, Mississippi for that.
Sure, they can bring College Game Day to Jackson, where they can't bring good water to Jackson, Mississippi.
Exactly. You can't do that. And I'm just like, you can bring College Game Day. I guarantee you, because I've seen the houses and hotels there, the crew is not staying there. They are going to go find somewhere.
They're gonna keep them in like Atlanta or something.
Exactly.
Fly them in like that
keep
morning.
Them in. Yes. Then one of the neighboring states. I bet you Pat McAfee ain't doing none of that. Reese Davis, none of that.
No, McAfee will stay there. McAfee's a man of the people. He'll stay there.
Yeah, okay. He gonna stay right with Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
he gonna do.
Crib.
So I wanted to bring that up. The other thing I wanted to bring up, because these are some of our quick hitters that I wanted to say, and this is a segueing into the sports from the finance. Steven, did you hear about the Tennessee Titans new stadium that was agreed to, worth $2.2 billion?
I did. I saw the renderings.
Yes. these stadiums, and I put a tweet out about it, these stadiums aren't even real anymore. Like, it looks like a home. Like, people can just live there, is what this is. It's better than casinos and shit of that nature. And they're not doing it just for football anymore. A lot of these stadiums are being used for like major sporting events. And when you have artists like The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, you're trying to bring them there too. Sell them shits out.
It's Nashville, you know, it's like it's the music capital of the US and one of like the music capitals of the world. So like they're gonna have, man, this fucking cut I have in my mouth, dude, is killing me right now. Killing me. I don't know what happened, but I got this cut in the back of my mouth. Just, oh God. It's like one of the music capitals of the world, and you got can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're there.
Okay. Yeah, well, what can you do? But like with all the artists that live in Nashville and like the surrounding area, I mean, yeah, that place is gonna be more music festivals and concerts over the years and football games. And it's obviously gonna host a Super Bowl because it's a dome, right? Or it's a glass dome.
It's both. It's along that SoFi Stadium lines.
Yeah, but it's gonna host a Super Bowl. We all know that. Every new city that gets a new stadium, doesn't matter where it is, if it has a roof on it, even if it doesn't, they're probably gonna host a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like that's just how it goes. But yeah,
that's what they started to do, because a lot of the teams in the North, when it's cold, they never got a chance. So this just guarantees them a chance for that.
Shout out Buffalo and Green Bay. Yeah. I mean, you know, who's next? You know, probably like, you know, there's a lot of pretty old stadiums, like, you know,
Buffalo's getting one.
Like the Steelers stadium is pretty old, but like it's old in like today's world. Like it's relatively new compared to like other stadiums, but like I'm sure they'll get a new stadium sometime in like the next 10 years. Like a lot of these teams will get a new stadium within the next like 5 to 10 years if they haven't done so already, or haven't had like the plans to do so already. And they're just going to be more and more like spacey, futuristic. Like, I mean, SoFi Stadium is a different animal of stadium. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, what, $2.2 billion you said? That's insane. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah. So
it looks nice though.
It does. And speaking of cold, as we brought that up, I want to let everyone know that in 2023, NASCAR will host a race on ice. I don't really have thoughts on that one.
Excuse me? What did you just say? You said NASCAR will host a race on ice.
Next year's Euro NASCAR Tour will open with the Arctic Ice Race on a frozen lake in Finland, the first of its kind, sanctioned by the sport.
Wait, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what I'm not even sure what to think about that.
Yes. So then
are they are they gonna race on the ice? Like snow tires? What do we okay.
It doesn't sound like a good idea.
First the guy that's laying on the ground, now this.
So
okay. I gotta do some research. What is going on?
So closing this part up, I also want to let everyone know, and this is almost a lock. I'm probably going to say like 80 to 90% chance this happens, but Barack Obama is involved in one of the groups bidding to purchase the Phoenix Suns. You're going to tell me that isn't one of the most grand groups that are going to be bidding for it. If Condoleezza Rice is a part of one, I promise you, Barack Obama is going to get this. Like, if you don't, you're almost a president that was likable to most people, is a part of one of the groups, and the amount of networking power he has for it, that's insane. And it should also help more players want to come to Phoenix if he's a part of it, potentially. But money grows on trees for some people.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Like 20 years ago, NASCAR, like I'm reading this article right now about NASCAR Euro Series. Like 20 years ago, the dudes that were like the big time racers in NASCAR, they would have never let this happen.
Hell no.
All those old heads that were, you know, probably secretly racist, like no chance they're letting this happen. They're like, screw Europe. We're not doing that.
Exactly.
It's like America. This is America's race.
Yes.
There's no way that's such a wild. I'm reading the article, and they just got a NASCAR drifting on snow. What is happening?
I know.
I'm definitely gonna watch that for sure.
I would too. Nuts. That's more entertaining.
I mean, you got cars going 200 miles an hour drifting on ice. Yeah.
I know.
That
That
spells disaster.
it does.
Someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna die. And I can't wait to watch it.
I know.
That's fucked up to say, but like I can't wait to watch it.
So we're gonna put this in now so that we have time for Steven's story and then my story as well, and then we can get into sports. But we're gonna do the game picks. So I'm gonna spend some time for everyone out there when it comes to the big game for Steven and I. But Ravens Bucks, who do you have?
I'm gonna go. Oof. I really want to pick the Ravens, but I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
So I'll do it for you, and I'll choose the Ravens because you know certain teams I always just have to choose regardless. Broncos Jags.
Bronco Nation, let's ride.
My God.
Russell Wilson doing knee ups, high knees on the plane.
God. I'm going with the Jags. I just can't go with the Broncos because Russell Wilson's just something else right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But yeah, Bronco Nation, let's ride.
Okay.
Terrible game. Panthers Falcons.
Falcons. Actually, no, Falcons. The Panthers showed some life last week, but I'm going with the Falcons.
So I have the Panthers in this one. Bears Cowboys.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
So I have the Cowboys as well. The Bears kind of
Like,
left
barely
out
though.
last week.
Barely though, I think.
Yeah. Dolphins Lions. I think
Dolphins.
this is probably easier.
Dolphins.
Next one we have Cardinals Vikings, which is a better game now because Hopkins is back.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
So that's another one that we have the same. For everyone out there, I did choose the Dolphins. I really can't choose the Lions. But I have the Cardinals as well. Raiders Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders. They're starting to turn things around a little bit.
So Andy Dalton is playing, so I'm going with the Raiders. If the Raiders can't beat the Saints, I don't know what to tell you. Shout out to the Saints because if they keep losing, then the Eagles keep winning. Patriots Jets.
Jets. Jets. Lost Brees Hall for the season, but they got Brian Robinson. James Robinson. Who's Brian Robinson? I don't know who that is. James Robinson.
That is the Commanders.
Brian Oh yeah. Shout out.
Yep. I'm officially gonna say it. I'm a part of the Jets bandwagon for this. For a long time, I never chose the Jets. I still don't believe in Zach Wilson. I just believe in the team itself. Zach Wilson has to show me more because if you look at the stats for the receivers under Zach Wilson compared to Joe Flacco, there are none really under the Jets, under Zach Wilson, but they were there under Flacco. Elijah Moore don't want to play.
Nope.
Garrett Wilson was good. Now he's not even someone you can hold on your fantasy teams. And Corey Davis injured. Michael Carter. Let's see what he does. Tyler Conklin was a receiver before under Flacco. We don't know what he does now. Going into the next one and probably the game of the week for Steven and I, Steelers Eagles.
No comment.
So, okay. One, shout out because we got Robert Quinn.
Shout out, yeah.
Huge pickup there. I was explaining to people how important it is, although they're like, he's getting older. Look, I don't care how old you are. If you got 18 and a half sacks last year, you were doing something clearly, right?
Yeah.
Roquan Smith, you can absolutely tell was devastated by it. More because they won't let his ass out.
Yeah.
But they letting everyone else out.
Yeah.
But him.
Dude, the Eagles should boat race the Steelers.
They should.
They should. Yes, absolutely should.
But you know how the Eagles are. We under Andy Reid, we were damn near undefeated after a bye. Under all these other coaches, I don't know how it's gonna go. But they should. The other part about it is I thought Kenny Pickett was good.
Shut up. Next, go to the next game. Just go to the next game. Don't even go there. Go to the next game. Titans, Houston. I got the Titans. Next one. Keep going. Don't you dare go back to that. Shut up.
Colts and Commanders.
Oh, what a disgusting game.
It is.
Do we have to pick that one?
Yep.
Oh gosh. I'll go with the Commanders.
So I gotta go with my quarterback, and I'm going with the Commanders. 49ers Rams.
I don't know. The Chiefs really got to the 49ers last week. I'll go Rams. They had a bye week, bounce back game.
So I'm going with the 49ers. They have to win sometime or another. You put a lot into getting Christian McCaffrey. So I'm going with the 49ers. But with the Rams side, pay attention to Kyron Williams. He is designated to come off the IR list. Running back for the Rams, Cam Akers is not playing. Darrell Henderson, they clearly don't have enough trust in him. So we'll see what ends up happening going forward. Giants Seahawks is a good game.
I'm going with the New York Football Giants. The Seahawks are going to be without DK Metcalf as well.
So I am going with the Seahawks in this one. Only reason is I believe in Geno. I believe in Kenneth Walker and
He had a
Tyler
great game
Lockett.
last weekend.
He did.
Great game.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker, I personally believe this is not really a bold statement, but it'll be my bold take. Kenneth Walker is going to be the starting starting running back probably come next year.
That's fair.
Yeah. Packers, Bills.
Bills.
So we both have the Bills in that one. And then going into the last game, Browns, Bengals.
Bengals.
So I have the Bengals in that one as well. My next thing I want to end up bringing up just really quick are your thoughts on the NBA season.
Ugh. I was telling you before this. I just don't really care right now. It's the product is great. The talent is great in the NBA. It's probably more talent than it's had in a long time, top to bottom. But the fouls they call, everyone's always bitching in the NBA. It's just like guys sit out. It's just I feel like I'm starting to become an old head now and just not really care as much until it gets to after the All-Star break. It's just I just can't wait for LeBron to pass Curry, and that's all I'm really focused on these days.
He really did text me that.
I did. That's all I care about.
I don't care.
Don't care about anything but that.
So my thoughts on the season. So I'm pretty big into sports betting. I don't care necessarily about the monetary aspect itself, but I like to see the stats along with it and just seeing how players are progressing and going through and seeing if you can start correctly guessing a lot of the different stats they have. Wiggins is doing well. He's in the perfect system. Jordan Poole is one of the few players you can say off the bench scoring over 100, earning over 100 million. Well worth it. They're doing very good with that one. They have a loaded bench as well. The Spurs aren't as bad as people think. They're not going to do good, but Greg Popovich is probably one of the only coaches that is willing to rebuild and stay with the team. And my other takeaway, and I'll bring it up because I was watching the game yesterday. I told myself I wasn't going to, but the Suns and Warriors, Booker is really good at scoring. Steph needs help from the young players for him to do really well each game. Clay's getting older. You can absolutely tell. Draymond is not going to be there, obviously, soon. Wiseman is good, but he's going to need help. Poole and Curry are going to do well, but Curry's not going to be here forever. So you already found the part one of the Splash Brothers. When Jordan Poole, you're going to need somebody else. I don't know if Mooney's going to be that one. I don't know if Kuminga or any of them are going to be there, but they have to think about that. They are doing good right now, but I've got to see about that. That whole splat yesterday, that's probably one of the funniest things because I promise you if it was any of the rough dogs, someone would have got hit in the face. But because it was Booker and Klay Thompson, they both didn't want to. He just kept saying forward. Booker couldn't really say anything about that, but just put up buckets. But what you got for the people?
Yeah, I got a great story real quick. I saw my neighbor's I saw my neighbor's car get stolen yesterday. So my office is on the bottom floor of my house. I'm sitting in my office right now, and this window right here. My car, all the cars are parked out front of the house. It was 11:30 yesterday. I saw a car drive by with I think 5 teenagers or so in it. They were driving a gray sedan. I think it was a Hyundai. And my neighbor's car is also a gray Hyundai. Apparently, it's a TikTok challenge. So they drove by once and they came back again and they came down did a little U-turn and pulled back up. And I saw one of the other kids come over with just I don't know what it was, just a pick. And he propped the window and broke the window and then climbed in NASCAR style, in the right rear window. And I'm just sitting here natural instinct. You see someone drive by, you look, or someone walks by, you look outside.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here watching this kid just pop this window and hop in. And I'm just sitting there what is going? It's 11:30 on a Tuesday. What are we doing? What is happening right now? Yeah. And I'm comedically, I'm looking around no one else is seeing this right now but me. No one else in the neighborhood on this street is seeing this but Steven. And I'm what is going on? So I tried to take a video of it in my office, but I couldn't see it because the blinds and the screen and everything really couldn't get a good picture. So I went to my front door. It was in his class, and I started recording the kid. I missed him getting into the car, but he like popped back out. He called his buddy over. Buddy brought him an iPhone charger, which I later figured out was his way to start the car, because you can take the console off underneath the steering wheel and start it with a USB flat stick. So I called the police and I was like, hey, my neighbor's car is being stolen like right now, like as we speak. I'm watching this kid do it. He's stealing the car. So the police showed up in like 10 minutes. Got the statement, all that kind of good stuff. They found the car that they came in, but they didn't find the car that they stole. But apparently they just like take it, joyride it, and dump it somewhere. And like that's it. And like that's it. But like, the point is like, what was going on? Like what was happening? It was 11:30 on a Tuesday. I'm just responding to some emails, and I look out, and this kid just popping the window open and hopping in. I saw him pop the window, and it's just one of those things like you never think it's gonna, like, you read about it, and like this is like there's been break-ins in cars before, in our neighborhood, and like you hear about it on somebody else's street, but like for it to happen like right in front of my house, I'm just like, wait a minute, this isn't. What are we doing here, kid? Exactly. And like my wife's like jokingly, my wife's like, why don't you go out there and confront him? I'm like, I have enough on my plate already.
That's what I've said. Yeah.
I don't need to get shot. I don't think he had a gun. Kid was a teenager. Obviously, you never know. So if it was my car,
it wasn't just one person.
If it was my car, you bet your ass I'm going out there
and
I'm beating that kid's ass, bro. I don't care how big the kid is. I can swing it. So I'm gonna go out there. If it's my car, yes, I'm gonna go take advantage of that. But I just could not believe what I was witnessing. Could not believe it. I'll send you the video after this, but I could not believe what I was witnessing. So that was my Tuesday.
Damn.
Tuesday.
That's the crazy thing. So I think I was so in shock by when Steven texted me, and I normally always respond back to Steven, but
especially when it's some shit like that.
Especially when it's something like that. Because I always tell him if it's in the morning, it's some ignorant shit. That's legit how the messages always go. And I was like, damn. And I was going to text him to say, yo, tell it on the show. But I think I was so in shock by him saying that, it almost didn't seem real that was like the story he ended up telling.
Right.
What you got? And then we'll go into like thank yous and all that stuff. So we had a 5K today at work. So we thought. So it was a 5K. I had been like mentally preparing like all during the week. Like one of my friends at work, I said, all right, we're going to run together. You could dress up if you wanted to. I wasn't dressing up. I was like, first off, I already have to like redeem myself from when we had like the water pong and all that stuff at work. So I said, all right, you know what? Let me finish this 5K. So I put my watch on. I never really wear my Apple Watch, but I said, all right, today I'm going to wear it, like time myself, see how long it takes me. Cause I can normally do 5Ks in between like 30 to 40 minutes, like easily. So I said, all right, we're going to do that. We started off going uphill. There was no, all right, let's smooth it out. It was like straight uphill. It was at 11 o'clock. And I get around the first time, like supposedly 1.3 miles straight. No issues. We go around the second time. It starts raining. I was like, God damn, like we got to finish this up. I can't be the one that starts walking in the rain. So we get around and I was like, this really didn't feel like a 5K. So I normally get excited for accomplishments. I finished 5th. It was like probably 50 of us. Like some people started walking. Like the first place person finished in like 16 minutes. Again, I'll tell you the true story in the end. The second place person finished in like minutes? 20. I'm going to tell you. Second place person finished in 20. I look at my watch. That shit said 2.37 miles.
Oh, dude, now you're fucked up. You're done. My man was
not
tired,
even close
though,
to a 5K. There's nowhere near a 5K. And that's what they said a 5K was. So we were supposed to go around twice around this whole area. And it was 2.37 miles. I thought I was the only one that realized that. Then 2 people after me were like, that shit wasn't no 5K. I'm like, I don't know what that was.
3.1?
It's like 3.1, 3.2.
Yeah.
So they missed a whole mile.
Yeah. What is it? All right. So, Freddie Mac, what are we doing, bro?
Exactly. So that was what I had for that. And then my thank you, honestly, because I was reflecting on different things that I do in amount of sports. And I honestly have to give a thank you to Steven, because I realized whenever I talk to Steven, I always focus and watch more sports than when I don't. Like when we did the podcast, I always focus on sports. When we work together, I focus on a lot of sports. So my salute this week and shout out is to Steven. So
my shout out is not to you, but yeah, go ahead.
I know. Anyway. No, so that's all I got. If you have anything.
No, big game for the boys this weekend. Let's get it done. So
with that, Pittsburgh against Philadelphia. We'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Orlando. Hopefully you can get the dub tonight against Cleveland because Donovan Mitchell is not doing good. And we out.
Peace.